Campus organizations. Okay, in college, learning is supposed to take place inside the classroom and outside the classroom. There is no doubt that you will learn outside the classroom independent of organizations. Life will teach you lessons. There is no doubt about that. However, one way to refine skills and to grow is by joining organizations on campus. And depending on your institution, I'm pretty sure you will have tons of organizations to choose from. So, in this lesson, we're going to talk about why you should join organizations and how it can benefit you upon graduation. So, why get involved? I mean, you could be in the library studying or in your dorm hanging out with your friends or playing video games. So, why get involved? And let me tell you why. 3 main reasons. Number 1, leader. If you join an organization, and it really doesn't matter which one, if you join an organization on campus and assume a leadership role, automatically you're going to be forced to work on your communication skills, fiscal management, organizational, and critical thinking. All 4 are very important and are skills that you're going to need when you get into the workplace. So, since you're probably not working your first year, this is an excellent opportunity to obtain those skills. When I was an undergrad, and mind you, this is a couple of years now. I've been out of undergrad for at least 14 years. But when I was an undergrad, it was my main responsibility for the organizations that I joined to contact the media whenever we're hosting an event. We wanted the media to be present so our event could be in the newspaper and on TV, depending on the type of event that we were hosting. At the end of that semester, the people at the media outlets, they knew who I was. They knew my name, and when I called, they knew exactly what I wanted. So what I did essentially was I networked with people off campus, and to this day, I keep in contact with some of those representatives. So this brings me to my next point, networking. It's not what you know, it's not who you know, but who knows you. By joining organizations, this is an excellent way to get to know various people around campus, whether it's students, staff, administration, and people off campus. Joining organizations allows you to expand your network, get to know certain people, and when the time comes where you may need a letter of recommendation, you will have many people to choose from. So keep in mind, learning takes place inside the classroom, but also outside the classroom. And this is one way where you'll learn outside of the classroom. This brings me to my next point, networking. It's not what you know, it's not who you know, but rather who knows you. So by joining organizations, it's an excellent opportunity to network with different agents on and off campus. For example, if you join an organization, chances are you guys are going to host something on campus. So this is a great way to work with the security on campus, work with the event management team on campus, as well as with other organizations if it's a joint venture. So organizations allows you to network, and it's crucial, absolutely crucial, that you develop your network from freshman year. This is not something that you do your final year, your 4th year. This is something that's ongoing. It never ends. Even after you graduate, once you get into the workplace, you should continue to network still. And finally, the last reason why you should join organizations is to make your school better. You guys should develop a school pride for your institution. And that's one thing organizations kind of allow you to do. You develop a school pride because what you're doing essentially is you're trying to improve your campus in some capacity that means something to you. So if you're concerned about the budget, about the allocation of the money towards whatever the cause, SGA is perfect for you. If you're concerned about how freshmen are treated or how the dormitories are being ran, then SGA is perfect for you. There's tons of organizations on campus, but you have to find the ones that are for you. And by joining the organizations, you should strive to make not only the organizations better, but the campus. So organizations are the way to go. It allows you guys to develop the necessary skills that you will need once you get into the workplace. It allows you to develop a strong network of people off and on campus. And finally, it helps you develop a bond with your institution. Types of organizations. Now, this depends on your institution, like most things we talk about, but for the most part, every organization that you can possibly think of is available on a college campus. So you have your academics. These are your honor societies, and we're going to talk about those a little bit later. You have your societies, secret societies, and we're not going to talk about that too much. However, if you are influential on campus, you may be eligible to join some of these societies. Arts and music, you have your Greek organizations, of course, cultural, media, political, and religious. So pretty much there's everything for everybody. And just in case they don't have the organization that you're into, you have every right to start your own organization. And it's not that hard. So try to find out what organizations are available on your campus. And as a freshman, begin to look into them, begin to meet some of the people involved in these organizations, and eventually, when the time comes, join. Okay, so I decided to break down the organizations and give an example so you guys have an idea of what to expect when you get on a college campus. Honor societies are extremely important. Depending on your major, there will be an honor society available to you, only if you have a 3.5 or higher, and that kind of varies also. However, it's an excellent opportunity to collaborate with other students within your major that's doing well. You can network and find out what types of internships they're pursuing, what type of classes that they're going to take in the upcoming semester, and just develop a bond with these types of students. Next, we have the sports clubs. And this is a great opportunity to let your hair down and learn a new sport at the same time. The cool part about it is you don't have to be excellent at a certain sport because the majority of the clubs, they'll teach you how to play. So when I was in undergrad, I was a part of the golf club and I was determined to learn how to play golf. Till this day, I struggle at golf, but that's not the point. The point is I took advantage of an opportunity available to me during undergrad, and I strongly recommend that you do the same. Next, we have social events and organizations. The premier social organization on campus is SGA. Their primary responsibility is funding the university and organizing and preparing for homecoming. Very, very, very important. Just imagine how your homecoming was in high school and multiply that by 20. Homecoming on a college or university is very exciting, but it takes a lot of work, and that's what student government does. I'm going to talk more about student government on the next slide. Next, we have the governing bodies. If you're ever so fortunate to be on a college campus during an election season, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about when I say governing bodies. You have your Republican club and your Democratic club, but also the independents. And students, especially on a college campus, they take elections very seriously. So you're going to see advocates on all three sides, and it's going to be very exciting. Students will disagree, but their creativity during the election time is definitely priceless. Next, we have our cultural organizations. In this category, we have the Asian Student Association, or CARIPSA, which is students from the Caribbean, or even the Black Student Association. Their primary role is to help minorities acclimate to the university. And finally, we have our performing arts. I have a story to tell. When I was in undergrad, I lost a bet with my girlfriend, and as a result, I had to take ballroom dancing classes. And as you can imagine, I was very reluctant to take the classes because I wasn't really into dancing. However, I took the classes and I had an amazing time. And to this day, I know how to ballroom dance, and I look forward to every opportunity where I can go and show people that I know how to ballroom dance. So keep that in mind, guys. Be open and try to participate in as many organizations as possible. It's an excellent opportunity to get out there, to network, to get involved. So look into it and try to get involved as soon as possible. Next, we have student government. Student government is probably one of the most prestigious organizations on campus, mainly because all other organizations have to go through student government for funding. So the president, vice president, treasurer, even the senators, they're very prominent people on campus because they have a lot of power. Some of the main functions of student government are homecoming, funding organizations, Senate, and budget hearings. Think of student government like you would our national government. And on most campuses, that's how they're treated. So student government is very prestigious, and if you can get into student government, I strongly recommend that you do so, especially if you're trying to get into law school. It will be an excellent opportunity to understand the politics behind student government. I'll be remiss if I didn't talk about honor societies. And yes, I did allude to them prior. However, they do deserve their own explanation. An honor society is an organization for students of high academic achievement. In most cases, we're talking about a 3.0 or a 3.5. So we're talking about students that are doing well in their respective major. In many cases, honor societies are invite only. You will receive a notification through the university, and if you qualify, I will strongly recommend that you join. Like I said prior, depending on your major, they have an honor society that caters towards those students. And it's a great way to begin to network and collaborate with like-minded individuals. On most campuses, you're going to have an organizational fair probably around week 2 or week 3. This is a great opportunity to see what type of organizations are available on your campus, but also begin to talk and collaborate with different members of these organizations. So I would recommend that you peruse the different organizations, take flyers, communicate, and then go back to your dorm and really sit down and think about what organizations you want to join. You even can do further research by going online and checking out their website or their national website. There's plenty of information out there on many of these organizations. So do your homework, and when the time comes, definitely join. And finally, the Hall of Fame. On most campuses, they have a Hall of Fame. But in order to get into the Hall of Fame, you really have to do well. Meaning you have to do well academically, you have to do well as it relates to service, and hold prestigious positions throughout the duration of your time on campus. It is very, very difficult to get in the Hall of Fame, but not impossible. So I strongly recommend when you get to campus, go and find your Hall of Fame. Look at the individuals that made the Hall of Fame and find out what they did. And if you're really interested in joining the Hall of Fame, then kind of emulate, kind of learn from them. You won't get to talk to them because they're long gone, but their legacy lives on. And that's the importance of the Hall of Fame. So guys, campus involvement is extremely important. Try to figure out the organizations that are available on your campus and get involved.